If you love smoothies as much as I do, and you're looking to reduce inflammation, then you're going to love this. It takes just 3 minutes, a few simple ingredients, and it tastes like a chocolate berry milkshake. Of course, without all of the nasties. And better yet, it's going to help lower inflammation, steady energy, and stabilize your blood sugars. So let's go. For that, we're going to go with 200 grams of yogurt, specifically Greek yogurt. Nice amount of proteins and fats in there. So measure out roughly. I know because I'm not going to measure it because I know there's about half this container left just under and it's 450 grams. Next, we're then going to add in our berries. This is about 200 grams, maybe a cup or so of berries. I've gone with a mix of blueberries and strawberries. These are frozen ones. You don't have to use frozen, use fresh. Next, we're going to add our spinach. But so it's maybe a large handful or however much you feel, really. You can take more than that, less than that. Depends how you feel with spinach. And obviously, you want to put that in the container, not with decoration around it. So that's basically our base. That's the Greek yogurt, good source of proteins and fats, help to regulate blood sugars, gives us some live cultures for gut support, some satisfaction from the meal. We've got berries for their polyphenols and antioxidants, which help to neutralize any inflammation. Then we've got the spinach for omega-3s and some magnesium to regulate the nervous system. Omega-3s help to lower inflammation. So that's our base. And next we're going to add a mix of different spices, seeds, and other ingredients to really enhance the anti-inflammatory effects of this smoothie. So the first thing we're going to add there is half a teaspoon of turmeric. Next, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of ginger powder. You could use fresh ginger as well. I've simply gone with ginger powder because I had it to hand. Again, you can add a little bit more, a little bit less if you prefer. Next, we're going to add a bit of black pepper. Now, we're not adding the black pepper for taste. It's simply to enhance the effects that the turmeric is going to have. Next, we're going to add some fiber in the form of chia seeds, a tablespoon of them. Next, we'll add our cacao powder. This will help give a nice flavor to it, as well as lots of other beneficial nutrients we find in the cacao. We'll then add a little bit of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of cinnamon. And next, we're going to add 2 very special powders that really enhance the antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects of this smoothie. So we're going to start with a teaspoon of baobab, and then 2 teaspoons of lucuma, another berry. So that's all of our spices. Next, we're going to add some healthy anti-inflammatory fats. First of all, some ground walnuts. I've taken 4 walnuts here and just crushed them in my hand. You could ground them more if you like. I'm going along the blender to do that. And then finally, something that may well lose some of you. I'm going to go with 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. I'm putting that in the smoothie. You probably think I'm crazy, but I'll explain in a moment why I did that. So that's all of our ingredients. And finally, we're going to add a little bit of cold water, about 150 ml of cold water, just to get the right consistency. If you want it a bit runnier, you may add more water. And then we're going to blend it. That's our smoothie. It should make about 500 ml. So there we go. A little bit left. That's our smoothie, our berry chocolate smoothie, which is very delicious. Now, if you are so busy that 3 minutes is still too long for you, here's how you can speed things up even more. By pre-making the powder pot. No measuring, spilling, swearing, nothing. You just pre-mix it in 1 jar. Mix the cacao, the cinnamon, the turmeric, the ginger, the lucuma, baobab, pepper, chia, in the quantities that will make however much you need for as many days as you need it. Now, if there's something in those ingredients that you really don't like, don't have them. It's as simple as that. So the time it then takes to make the smoothie simply means to put the yogurt, the berries, the spinach, the chia seeds, olive oil, walnuts, and of course 2 or 3 tablespoons of the powder pot blend, and then you're done. Now, if you haven't yet done so, you could do me a quick favor, hit subscribe. I'll be sharing lots of other super nutritious, super delicious recipes over the coming weeks. Now, at this point, you're probably thinking, how is this smoothie anti-inflammatory? Well, this is more than just the fruit in the blender making it anti-inflammatory. Each ingredient plays an important role. Now, I've already discussed the base ingredients of the Greek yogurt, the mixed berries, the spinach, that help bring the satiety, the blood sugar regulation, the calming effect, antioxidants, anti-inflammatories. But let's look at some of the other ingredients and what role they play in this smoothie. Now, first of all, there's turmeric, which contains curcumin, which, as you probably already know, is highly anti-inflammatory. We have the pepper, because that supports the absorption of the turmeric. Sounds a very strange thing, I know, to add into a smoothie, but the reason it's there is to obviously enhance the turmeric. Then we have ginger, and ginger again is another very established anti-inflammatory. Then we have the chia seeds, which help increase fiber, which is great for stabilizing blood sugar levels. It's also going to help feed the bacteria, which in turn support lowering inflammation in the body. And it's going to contain omega-3 fats, which are also anti-inflammatory. Then we have the raw cacao powder. Now that's packed with flavonols, which are a type of antioxidant or polyphenol, which also help neutralize inflammation. Cacao is also very rich in magnesium, which helps to calm the nervous system and reduce inflammation that way. Then we have the cinnamon, which helps to regulate blood sugars and of course adds a nice little bit of flavor and sweetness to it, as well as some more antioxidants in the form of polyphenols, which are of course also anti-inflammatory. Then we have the lucuma powder. This is a berry, and this also adds sweetness, also adds fiber, and it's also high in antioxidants. Then we have the baobab. That adds a little bit of tanginess, but also lots and lots of vitamin C and polyphenols as well. And then one of the final ingredients, which I'm sure you were very surprised to see me add, is the extra virgin olive oil. Now, this is going to help increase polyphenols as well, but it's also going to help regulate the blood sugars. And most important of all, it helps the absorption of many of the other ingredients, particularly things like the spinach and the turmeric, which actually require fat for them to be absorbed properly into the body. Then, of course, we had the walnuts. Now, the walnuts, again, another source of plant-based omega-3s. So in all of that, you've probably heard me say polyphenols or antioxidants on numerous occasions. And polyphenols are a type of antioxidant. And there are literally thousands of different types of polyphenols. So we want that nice diverse range. Hence many of these ingredients have polyphenols, because we want that diverse range so that we can have as many beneficial effects as possible, especially when it comes to the anti-inflammatory response. Now this smoothie can work great as a snack. You just might have a little bit less, or even as a breakfast, or even any other meal. But it's great if you need to consume something on the go. It's far better than grabbing a pastry or some kind of so-called healthy breakfast bar when you're running low on time. Honestly, it takes no less time to pop into your local coffee shop to grab a coffee and a pastry than to make this smoothie. This smoothie that is 1,000 times more nutritious, reduces inflammation rather than raising it, and you get to feel amazing doing it. So let me know what you think. I have a quick question though. Have you ever tried lucuma or baobab before? How did you find them? Let me know in the comments. And of course, if you enjoyed this recipe, hit subscribe. I've got loads more recipes like this coming over the next weeks. See you on the next one.